Hello traders, and welcome back to another weekly market review. Today, like every week, we're going to go through the current trades available on the navigator, on the algorithm. We're going to go through Forex, and we're also going to go through some equities. Not too much going on equities this week. Of course, when the market opens back up next week, there's probably going to be a few changes, but as I'm recording this, not too much going on there. So I'm going to go through Forex first. Of course, with Forex, we're also going to do some metals and commodities, but we'll just throw that into one box. So the first one we have here is AUD CAD. On AUD CAD, we actually hit TP, so we hit all the TPs on AUD CAD. I'm going to take this trade now off my list. On oil, we're still looking at the same thing, really. I know if you remember last week, we were discussing the kind of formation was forming. So we had, this kind of was struggling to go up. So we had to break down, and we were hoping for price to create this lower high. So this was our top here, and we wanted for price to form this lower high. So we can see when price went down and it's going up, we can see it's reacting to this level, and it looks like it wants to keep going down from here. So that's a really good sign. That means price wants to continue moving lower. Of course, it kind of depends what happens next week, but really what we want to see is price, keeping this formation up, making lower lows and lower highs, and then going below this entry again. We want to see a nice daily kind of close, and then from here we can take the retest down into our TPs. The RTD, so the new RTD 2.0, it's looking kind of flat, but the good thing here we can see is the global. So the overall trend is in a downtrend, and the local one it's kind of in between. So it could switch to a kind of downtrend pretty quick. But yeah, overall we're downtrending right now. So basically we had this nice dip down, but now we had retracement back to a global trend, and now we're looking for another dip down. So hopefully we can see that this week. Again, that's just my analysis. Anything really could happen. What matters here is that price goes below this level, and once it's below this level, then we can take a short. That's really all we're looking for. All the other bells and whistles, that's just bonus, but really what we're looking for is price to trade and close below our short entry, and then we can set up our short trades. Next up, we got GBP CAD, which is also still looking good. We are still overall on a downtrend. We are in the entry level right now. In my opinion, this trade is still looking fine. I'd love to see some more momentum. So I want to see the bears get a little stronger. It's been kind of slow on this pair for the past few days, so hopefully we can see some more bears come in next week. Euro Yen hit TP1, TP2. Some of you were already in this trade, some of you are still waiting to get triggered. We can see some rejection here, so maybe price will come back up into our entries. Again, that's something we can't predict. But yeah, it looks like we're pretty bearish at this point. The global trend is bearish, local trend is bearish. We might see the local come back up into a global for retest, which then hopefully would be this resistance up here, and then from there we can take a short. But yeah, this is a trade you can set up. It's a good trade, it's fresh, hasn't been repeated, so yeah, this is a good trade. Before we go any further, I just want to remind you guys to check out the handbook. So we actually released an update on the handbook. It's handbook 3.0. And we added a lot of new things into the handbook that you guys might like in terms of repeated trades, the navigator and things like that. And also if you have a small account, how you should trade, or how you should trade these trades. So make sure to check out the new handbook. Just type it into the global chat, and then Grace will send you the link. This is Sugar. Sugar hit our TP point. Some of you were sitting a little drawdown here, but looks like it played out well, went back above our entry, and then into our TP1, TP2. If you saw this a little later, when price went back up, you probably didn't quite get the entry here. But overall, this looks like a good trade, and looks like I want to push up a little further into our TP3 here. This is gold. Gold is showing a short entry on this resistance. It is quite bearish at this point, so we might not get an entry here. But again, that's something we can't predict. We don't know if it's going to fall further or if it's going to go back up. We can only look at our best levels, put our entries on those levels, and then just wait for price to trigger our entries. Sometimes the market can do things we would never expect it to, so we could really see a rally up into this level. Again, it's something we don't expect, but something that could happen based on some of the weird behaviors markets sometimes have. So Again, if the entry is shown, we put it in, and we just wait. Next up, we got USD CAD. Some of you are in this trade, so some of you already hit TP3 on this trade. Me personally, I actually only saw this a little later. But yeah, this looks really good. What I like about this is we have our RTDs, or global and locals, both uptrending. So there's a lot of bullish momentum. The global is just crossing now, so it's crossing from a downtrend into an uptrend now. So potentially we could see, what I want to see is another dip down into this support over here, grabbing more liquidity to complete the uptrend. So hopefully that's what we're going to see next week. Again, we don't know when that happens or if it will happen, but that's something we want to be ready for. Euro AUD, we also hit TP3. Some of you I know got entered on this trade. This is a repeated setup, so it's been played out multiple times at this point. The algo might not have been there the whole time for this trade, but we can see how often this trade played out. So this here is our entry, and we got our TP, let's say just TP2 here and our TP3 here. So we can see this trade played out once here, a second time here, probably got an entry here, and then this is the fourth time. So this would be a repeated trade. It looks like a good support, but it is repeated, and that's a trade you can skip. AUDN is looking good as well. Looks like we had a nice bearish move down. We had a good bull run here, but now looks like we broke that bull run. Both the global and the local is a downtrend, and we're not in a lot of momentum now. You can see the lines are still fairly close together, so we might see a push up to grab more liquidity and hopefully go into a bigger momentum trade here to the downside. So yeah, I think, in my opinion, this is a good trade. You know, would be nice if this short entry would be a little higher, but this looks still a good level to get in. Again, this is a new trade. This trade has not been repeated, and yeah, so the trend is just about to change because we broke this major bullish trend, and yeah, we're really just looking for some momentum that we can enter on. So we want price to go up, hit our limits up here, and then take it down to our TPs. On stocks, we don't have too much going on for this week. I really just only have 3 pairs. PFE hit or TP1, TP2, and some other ones that I took off the list already, like Netflix also hit our TPs, and then there were some other ones too. But yeah, these are some of the ones we still have running. So we're waiting for this one on TP3. Google has not been triggered yet, so we're waiting on Google. Google is, we just wanted to go back into our short entry here. We can also see a nice cross, nice bears coming in on the RTD. So we can see local is gaining some momentum, and the global is just about to cross. So, you know, really what we want to see, you can see, for example, if you look at the RTD here, you can see in a similar scenario here, where, you know, we had a little momentum here, like a short, you know, bearish momentum here, but then when the global crossed, you can see how much momentum we got. So you can see how the lines had a bigger space. So that indicates a lot of momentum. We wanna see the same thing here in this trade. We wanna see nice momentum forming, the line or the space getting bigger. That shows a lot of momentum in the trade, and then from there we can easily hit our TPs. So we just want price to go back up into our entries and then go down. Again, this is a short, and you know, if you're shorting equities, you always want to be a little more careful. So feel free to lower your risk if that's something you want to do. Again, it comes down to your risk appetite, but yeah, like, you know, Netflix worked out great for the short. Some people don't like to short stocks; they only want to buy. But if you're okay with that, then okay, you know, for sure you can take this. Next up, we got GS. So we're just waiting for the entry here on Goldman Sachs. This one almost went up to the entry, but not quite. So we'll see how this opens up next week. So we are going up. So we're waiting to retest this level here. Hopefully we can get our entries, and then further down. It's been kind of sideways. You can see even the RTD is kind of you know, flat at this point over here. It looks like it wants to go further down. You can see it's kind of expanding already, and we can see the local retesting the global. So, you know, if this goes up, we're pretty much retesting the this level here, and if this level gets rejected, and then we're going to find some momentum to really go down further. But again, we need to, this level needs to hold. If this level holds, then we're going to see some more bearish momentum. And you can kind of see the same thing that happened here. If you look at the past, the past is always the history in trading always tells a good story. If we look at this, we kind of had the same thing happening here, or even just this part here. You can see, it was kind of building up. It was going bullish, and now we can see this happening here, and now we want to see this thing playing out over here. So that's really what we want to see. We can see the market created a new top here. Again, I'm not sure if I went this through last week, but this is our top, this is our lower high, because basically what happened is this high failed to close above the previous high, which makes this a lower high. So that means the market is going into bearish territory. So I really want to see something like this happening. Again, we're kind of going more into more of the advanced analysis, but that's really what we want to see here. So as long as this level holds, we can expect some nice shorts here. Okay, awesome guys, that's it for this week. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. Again, make sure to join Global Chat. Make sure to download the new handbook and give that a good walkthrough. And like I said, we updated that. There's some new things in there. Make sure you update it on those. Also, make sure to join our weekly Q&A call. This is where we can help if you're new, if you're just getting to know the strategy mode, if you have questions, or if you want to look at a specific trade as it plays out, maybe a new strategy mode trade comes out during the week. Make sure to join my weekly Q&A call every Monday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. The Zoom link it's always in the Telegram, so make sure to join those every Monday. Lots of helpful information on those. My name is Patrick. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye-bye.